Studio D, Los Angeles prosecutors urging a parole board to reject a compassionate release plea made by former Charles Manson follower Susan Atkins. She's now 60 years old and suffering from terminal brain cancer. She wants to die at home with her family. Atkins, whose parole hearing is being held right now in Sacramento, was convicted of 7 murders, including that of actress Sharon Tate, who was 8.5 months pregnant. Atkins serving a life sentence in the Tate LaBianca murders, which terrorized Hollywood back in 1969. With us on the phone now is former Manson prosecutor Vincent Bugliosi. And Vincent, give me 10 seconds, if you will, on what you make of this whole leniency plea.
Well, I'm not opposed to it because it's not really lenient. She's got brain cancer. She can't communicate. She's already out of prison. She's not in prison right now. She's in a local hospital. Her left leg's been amputated. Her right leg is paralyzed. She's already served close to 4 decades. We can't cavalierly dismiss that. I asked for the death penalty against her, and that would have been the proper punishment for her.
Which is surprising, Vincent, to think that you would actually say, okay, you know what, send her home. I would think you'd be one of the last people on the planet to say, send this woman home and let's show some sympathy.
Well, she's not going anywhere. She's stuck in the hospital bed there. She's already out of the hospital. That's where she's going to die. And I reject the notion out of hand. I think it's a non sequitur of the most obvious nature that just because she showed no mercy to her victims, we therefore are duty-bound to follow her inhumanity and show no mercy to her at no time and under no circumstances. To me, that's being childlike. We're not giving her anything here. She's already in bed. She's dying. She's paralyzed, and it's silly. I'm not going to play the tough prosecutor role for anyone.
I don't think we're asking you to play the tough prosecutor here. What we're asking is, you know the families. You know Sharon Tate's family. We talked to Sharon Tate's sister today. We're not saying duty-bound. We're saying, as a man who prosecuted this case, it's not a quid pro quo thing here, Vincent. It's simply a question. Do you think at this point in the game, you asked for the death penalty, that she deserves to be able to go home and die with her family?
It's not a case of deserving. She's not going anywhere. She's going to stay in the hospital bed. She can't move. Her right leg's paralyzed. Her left leg is amputated.
It is still making an accommodation. The critics would say still making an accommodation for a woman that many believe does not deserve that type of accommodation.
Yeah, well, again, I'm not going to play that role. Because she showed no mercy, we can't show her the tiniest speck 37 years later. I don't agree with that.
Well, the family said today they don't want her to have that tiny little
and
speck
I don't
of
blame
sympathy.
them. And I don't blame them. Roman Polanski was against the death penalty for everyone else, but not for the death penalty against the murderers of his wife. I understand that. We're talking about you and me. I'm not strongly urging this. I just don't see any reason not to let her family visit her more than they can now. She's still in protective custody. Not protective, she's in custody, so they can't visit her. They'll be able to visit her more the last 2 months of her life. I just spoke to her lawyer. She's got about two months left to live. She's in a terrible situation here, and because she showed no mercy, I guess we're supposed to say, we're not going to have any mercy on you. Well, I didn't have any mercy on her when I asked for the death penalty, but these are totally changed circumstances here. Totally changed circumstances.
Vincent Bugliosi, very well noted, sir. Thank you for your time.
Okay.